Hi, everybody. Welcome to Taking Off with Mike and Jen. As you know, we're sort of like not an airline podcast, but because we both work for the airlines, that's what we call it. We have some very special guests today, and we're so glad they're joining us. We'll have them tell us a little bit about themselves, but this is Jamar and MacKenzie King. Yeah, so you can
Welcome,
start.
guys.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks for
tell us a
coming.
little
And I'm
bit.
having a hot flash. We'll talk about that in a future episode.
It's okay. It all happens to all of us. Hi,
So, yeah.
I'm MacKenzie. This is my husband, Jamar. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. How you doing?
Good.
We've been married. I've been married for 5 years, and we have one daughter who is 3 years old, Wonder.
Okay.
And we moved to Georgia. Oh gosh, how long ago now?
It was
4
in
years
2020.
ago. Yeah,
Okay.
4 years ago. So we've been in Georgia for 4 years now.
Okay.
And then how long did you know each other before you got married?
Not long.
No,
Not long enough,
no.
probably.
Oh, so we need to hear
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
sounds fun.
And where did you meet? So give us a
So-
little bit of background.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So we had a mutual friend in LA, and I was like, "Hey, you have a lot of attractive friends. Do any of them, love Jesus?" And she said, "No, they don't." But there is one, and she lives in Atlanta, and I was like, "Oh,
I had just moved probably I was in LA for 4 years.
Oh, that's
Okay.
when you came
Yeah,
back.
and then I moved back to Atlanta. So this is probably like 5 months into me moving back.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, she's like, yeah, she lives in Atlanta. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. So, kept it moving. And then she posted a photo, and it was the mutual friend, Maddie, and then Kenzie. And then, and I was kind of like, who's that girl? And my friend was like, oh, that's the girl I was telling you about. She lives in Atlanta. And she happened to be in LA for Coachella. And so I was kind of like, oh, that's awesome. And so we tried to orchestrate something to where we could all get together and meet each other. And apparently that mutual friend told Kenzie.
She was like, listen, I have your husband. And I'm like, no,
No way.
I don't want to get married right now. Like, I'm not. And I don't want to. I knew he was a pastor. And I was like, I honestly don't want to marry a pastor. So, like, I'm not interested at all. And the whole, Coachella, she's just like, this is your husband. Look at this picture of him. Like, she was, really going for it. And I was just like, no. Like, he's cute, but, not interested at all. So then the day we got back from Coachella, I saw her phone, and she was orchestrating this meetup with him and his friend.
Oh, no way.
But she told me we were just going to coffee, and so
yeah.
when I saw it, I
Love it.
left and I Ubered to my
You did.
For real?
my other friend's house because I was like, I don't want to meet him. And
Did
then
you know this was happening?
And then I flew home.
I knew that we were
No,
trying
that's
to
so funny. I
orchestrate
did
getting
not
it
know.
together. I didn't know that she was not
I didn't
interested
know, yeah.
in that meetup. And then come to find out, she's like, "Oh yeah, she's not making it. She went to the airport." And I was like, "Oh wow."
Wait. You were there.
I was
Yeah.
like, right, yeah.
She saw the text on the phone.
My God.
Yeah, so
hilarious.
it was April, and then in May, I could tell, you can tell somebody's stalking your Instagram. He was just
Oh, no, I didn't
liking
know that.
old
I didn't know
photos,
that.
right?
You can tell.
No. It was
I
when
could tell because I knew who he was
Oh,
at this
okay.
point, she
it was when Instagram introduced
there was
stories.
something. Yeah.
And
Oh,
it
okay.
was when they were, you can now post a story on your
Okay.
profile, and that was new. And at the time, people who were watching your story more frequently, they went to the top.
Yeah.
And so you could easily see who was watching your stories
Oh.
and who was watching it kind of first. And so I'm sure I was on top of hers,
Yeah.
and
He
she was
didn't
on top of
follow me,
mine.
but
That's funny.
Yeah. And so then I think she posted something about basketball, and then I responded to that story, and then we just started talking that way. And then I just said, yeah, here's my number. And then she goes, no, here's my number. And then we
Nice.
started talking and texting. And then, yeah.
Yeah. We texted
then-
for a month and then he flew out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You flew out specifically to me.
And then,
Yeah.
but I knew I was in when you did.
Oh, this happened in between the meetings. So I was like, my family
Yes.
is very nosy. Not nosy, but they just everything,
Yeah. They're in there.
Yeah, they're in there. So my mom knew that this guy, and I was like, no, we're really just friends. It was just friends. And obviously my parents had been talking about him, and my mom had showed my dad his Instagram, and my dad went and liked Jamar's old photos on my mom's account. So I'm like,
Not like recent. It was like you got to scroll.
It was like the oldest
you gotta
photos.
scroll a little
And
bit.
I was like, Mom, I'm never talking to you again.
And I got a
like, I'm going
notification.
home from the beach. We're on trip. And she's like, that wasn't me. It was your dad.
I got a
my
notification
gosh.
saying
That
like
was mad.
Rhonda liked or Matt liked your photo, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm so in.
I am in
funny.
because it was like an old photo, and I was kind of like, this is awesome. And so then after that, we started talking and texting, and then I flew out to Atlanta, and it was just to meet her because I was like, talking over the phone is great, but you gotta have to be in the same room. Are we gonna vibe?
right.
How
Yeah.
is it gonna be? You can be your best person on texting and phone, but it's just kind of like, how can we sit in the same room? So then I went and flew out to Atlanta and got off the airport, and that was the first time we met each other. And then I said, hey, like I went in for a hug, and I'm like, we're just gonna sit here until we like squeeze all the awkwardness out. And so we just hugged for I don't know how long, but it was
that's
just kind of like
funny.
just
Really?
just kind of like break that
Gosh, that's a good
break
idea.
that
Physical.
physical barrier
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a healthy way, of just kind of like that awkwardness and just
Totally.
get that out the
Yeah.
way. And so then we did, and then after that it was started talking.
Game on.
Yeah. But we got married a year later.
Okay, 1 year
So
later.
it was talking, texting, getting engaged, married, all within a year.
And when you went back to LA and you're in Atlanta, when then did you move to Atlanta? Like, what was the time span? I'm just
Wait,
curious
weren't you
about
guys
that.
back
Still
in LA
weren't,
though
like-
as a married couple? Weren't you in LA as a married couple?
Yes. So I did
Okay.
eventually move.
Okay.
We weren't like, we were just talking still when he went back. And then
Okay.
I went out there a few times. And then eventually we're like, okay, we want to be together. So then I got a job with Fox Sports out there and then moved
And then it
for
took
the,
off.
for the job, quit
yeah,
the
yeah.
job not that long after.
That's
But,
great.
and then, yeah, we were in LA, 2 years together
Yeah.
and then moved out here 2 years after that. Or something like that, right?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So, all right, so
great.
that's good. So,
Great.
so just the audience kind of knows this, and in general, why we did this podcast and why we're open for those who have listened to the podcast, and just we pretty much are an open book.
Yeah.
And the thing about being an open book is a lot of people are hesitant to be an open book because not only do they not want to get their lives out there, but they're afraid. Hurt my mom and dad's feelings. I'm going to hurt grandma's feelings. I'm going to hurt brother, sister's feelings. I don't want to do that. There's baggage there. And I totally get that.
Yeah.
I do. And so the more open you are, the more you tell your story, then it really does help more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess the encouragement is just be as honest as you can. And I also say this is your parents did the best they could because their parents failed and then their parents failed. And
Well,
it's
they
just a
didn't fail all the
cyclical
way,
thing,
babe.
right?
yeah.
They
No,
we
but,
have failures.
But the baggages,
He made it sound
Total
like your
failure, yeah.
parents.
The baggages
parents
that we
totally
have.
failed.
the baggages
That's not
that
what he
we
meant.
have, right? Everybody knows that.
No,
The
they don't.
the baggage that we have, though, is it's not necessarily in most cases completely intentional
purpose,
on
yeah.
purpose. It's just they did the best that
Yeah.
they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to ever say anything negative about this, that, or the other because they want to hurt their feelings. And the reality is I am who I am because of my baggage.
And you can't grow. We don't
And-
think you
Yeah.
can grow unless you can recognize some things and
Some
be like,
hurts and
we like
baggages.
this, we don't.
Right.
Like with wonder.
Yeah, for
Like-
sure.
And you don't
No,
want
we
to
wanna do
pass on
this.
things that maybe shouldn't be passed on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so,
Yeah.
anyway, that's
Yeah.
that's the spirit of the questions.
Love it.
So, we kind of know about your mom and dad because they were on a previous podcast. We know they were married. We know their story. For the audience out there, they can hear the story, but we don't really know about your past.
Okay.
So, share kind of like were your mom and dad married, brought up? What was the vibe?
Yeah. So, my mom and my biological mom, my biological dad, they met when they were in the military.
Okay.
And so they had me, and I was born in Japan in Misawa Air Force Base. And then they got divorced. And then from there, my mom got remarried. And we lived all over. So I lived in Virginia, Mississippi, California, Alaska, Colorado. And then she retired 20 years in the military. And then I moved to LA. So my family is all over the place. I have a younger brother, his name's Winston, and your sister, her name is Rachel. And then I have two sisters on my biological side.
Okay.
And so they're in on the East Coast. And so yeah, it's kind of, we kind of grew up all over. And so we're very diverse in just kind of like how we grew up, even just kind of like the people and being on a military base. And so I always tell people the balcony of being in the military is you get to make friends really quick.
Yeah.
And you learn how to adapt to make friends really quick. The basement of it is your friendships are not really that deep because you're always moving. And so if we live in a base, your parents at the end of their 4 years. My mom's at the beginning of her 4 years. We're best friends in that 1 year. But then you leave.
Yeah.
There's no Facebook. There's no Instagram. You just memorize your friends'
wild.
phone numbers. You
Yeah.
know, and so So that's kind of like a little brief. You know, if there's anything else that's specific, let me know. But that's pretty much.
So when your parents got divorced, how old were you?
I was young. Like I don't remember.
Oh, at all.
Two.
I was
Okay,
you were
so you
young,
were in
yeah.
that.
You were like,
No
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
2 or
Yeah.
something.
And then
Okay.
did you ever have contact with your biological father post that?
So for a while, no. Like I didn't want to talk to him.
Okay.
He used to call me on my birthdays when I was younger.
Okay.
And then he stopped. And then after a while, it was just kind of like one of those things where it's kind of like, no, I'm good. I think one time, one of his family side was calling me about something. It was like, hey, your dad's right here, like right next to me. Do you want to talk to him? And I'm like in my like mid-20s. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't
Right.
want to talk to him.
Right.
And so it wasn't until I went to Hawaii for a wedding, and I was flying back, and I just had this random thought that was just like, hey, you don't want to get a phone call or a text from that side of the family saying, hey, can you come home? Like your dad passed away. And I just didn't want to have that text before I got a chance to reach out to him. And so I, got his number, mustered up all the courage, and I just said,
Wow.
hey, this is Jamar. And then he texted back and he said, hey, Jamar. And I just bawled just from that
Yeah.
those two words. And I think I even screenshotted how long we talked on the phone. That I have it on the words right now, but
Wow.
like we talked on the phone for like, I think like a couple hours. And the first hour he was just apologizing
Wow.
so much and just kind of like, I'm sorry. And it was just really, really beautiful. And then, so then that was kind of like the beginning of our relationship, just kind of like talking on the phone and
Right.
texting. And then sure enough, I think later on, I think we had a conversation where I led him to Jesus. Like we had a conversation
kidding.
where he gave his life to Jesus. And it was really, really cool.
Amazing.
And he was talking about so it was really, really cool. And then he came out to LA and we had a great time and took a picture. And that was the picture that her
My
dad
dad
liked.
Didn't he get
no
baptized?
way.
He got,
No.
he was wanting to get baptized.
Okay.
We didn't get baptized that time. And so yeah. And so it was like a really cool,
Oh, that's
So to this day, you have a
cool.
relationship.
we have it's not a relationship that's like, we're just calling each other up.
Sure.
Because I think when that relationship and the process of that building that relationship, repairing that relationship was in my late 30s, like early 30s. And by then I'm like, I'm not saying I know who I am 100%, but
Yeah.
like I'm feeling very confident in
Sure.
myself. And so it's just more of like, I think I went out there one time and we had a conversation and I was kind of like, so like, why did you leave? And
Yeah.
why did you do that? And why didn't you do this? And so we had those conversations, but for the most part, it was like, I'm pretty much, I know myself
Right.
and it's not like, hey dad, can you, but every once in a while I'll call, he'll reach out, he'll send gifts from Wonder, and so it's,
Were you tight with your
Wow.
stepdad?
so
Like, did he fill a void when in the first 20 years or so that you felt like, your dad
yeah,
didn't need him?
I didn't. It's a great question. I didn't. So my stepdad did an okay job.
Okay.
And like you said before, it's not like they're failures. It's just they did the best they could
Sure.
with what they had in front of them.
Right.
And, looking back at it, and I'm like, cool, there's a lot of things that were not healthy. Some things that, I don't want to pass on. So he's definitely was a strong figure in my life. And then as far as a relationship now, there is no relationship.
Okay.
For a moment there, when I found out that him and my mom was getting divorced, there was a moment of like humanity for him. Because before it was just kind of like, yeah, he's dead, whatever, or he's. And then when I found out that they were getting divorced, I had a moment for him where I felt really sorrowful for him and some kind of compassion for him.
Right.
But then after that, he just kind of like, he left it alone. And I think me and my brother tried to reach out a couple of times, didn't hear back from him. I think he's now trying to reach back to his biological son.
Wow.
But not so much to me. I think it's just kind of like, a little too little too late.
Right.
Kind of vibe.
Right.
Did your
So
biological
interesting, right?
dad change after he was saved? Like, did he change his
You noticed.
towards you? Did you notice like this shift or not?
Not really.
Not really. Super interesting.
It was just kind of, our conversations are very
Just like-
simple.
Topical.
Right. Just
It's
what's
just-
going on in life.
What's
how
going
you
on in
doing?
life? How are you doing? How's
Yeah.
Wonder?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think we go too far and too deep, Maybe we will. That would be great. But I think I have, here's something I've learned. When I was living in LA, I went to a church called Mosaic, and there was the lead pastor there. He was a great example of what I think a father should be. And at the church, and because of just the culture, I think I've found a lot of healing there. So much that I didn't need the healing from anyone else. It would have been helpful and it would have been great, but it wasn't contingent on conversations with them, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Totally does.
Totally.
Like, I don't need to have conversations or go deep or do all this stuff because I had a great example of what it looked like, but at the same time, I was living a life where God was doing a lot of healing in that, so that I don't need to go to the doctor to get
Right.
because I'm good, and so
Totally.
I don't normally have like these deep conversations with either my biological or my stepdad.
Right.
I'm literally I'm okay.
Right.
I don't need that.
You
to
got
be
the gift
healthy.
of pre-healing. I call it like pre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people get it after. Like
After.
mine was after. Yours was prior, and that's a gift. That's really
Yeah.
it. Really is.
And it wasn't like, like osmosis. It was because this pastor was
Sure.
just showing what it looked like. And through him showing an example of what that looked like, to be honest with you, and I haven't really processed this, you guys are the only person to ask me this question. I think that's how I was able to
Right.
move on and to kind of grow in that.
That's awesome.
So it was him, but also God through him showing
Right.
what that looks like. And then just being there and working it
It's
out.
like God.
So,
Well, of course, God knew. It's like preparation too for what was to come.
yeah.
And that's so cool. You had no expectation from your
Yeah.
dad, stepdad.
Since
So
you guys
cool.
have been married 5 years, if you were to look back now and dissect your parents' marriage versus when you were in it, 17, 18 years old, 16, 15 years old,
watching it,
observing it, is that look way different in the how you would say, this is my mom and dad's marriage, I'm a 16-year-old, blah. Now I'm my age, this is my mom and dad's marriage. Does that look
'Cause now you're married
totally
and you have a
different? You
child.
see
Yes.
it differently, you're matured.
I don't think I see their marriage differently.
Okay.
In my case, I think when you get married and have a kid, you have more appreciation for your parents because you're like, okay, now
You get it.
I know what all the other things you were doing. You weren't just, making me
Right.
food or driving me here. There's a lot
Right.
more behind it. So I think I have a different appreciation now for their marriage and that it's lasted. How long? I don't know. They were on here 30-something
long
years.
time.
You know?
Yeah, there are a few ahead of us. So,
30 plus years. So I think now I'm like, wow, that's definitely something to look up to. But
Right.
I've always had a healthy view of marriage
Through them.
Yeah, even at a young age.
That's so cool.
And what
So
about you,
cool.
Jamar? Is there...
Mine's different,
Sure.
having grown up in a family that had, she got divorced twice. And so it did bring some type of reality to marriage in a way. I think I remember when my mom got divorced the second time, that picture of my stepdad, I just had a picture of him like walking through a door and then like closing the door behind him. And that was just kind of like it.
And that's in your mind.
That's
like
in my
you
mind.
could see that.
And I could see that
Wow.
when that happened. And so here is this, and I think that was when I realized, oh, they're human beings. Because we've all grown up with parents and we always think that they're superheroes.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, I think the first time my mom got divorced, I was young.
Sure.
The second time I had some type of I was like maybe in my early 20s. And that was when I was like, oh, they're just human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're
just real.
fragile. They're real. And so, yeah, back then I would have been like, oh yeah, they're this. But now I'm like, oh wow, like they're human.
Now, have you guys found in the 5 years you've been married, you did a lot of pre-healing, so it might be vastly different from other people that have answered this question, but coming from your backgrounds are totally different.
Yeah.
So now you're married.
Yeah.
How has some of that dysfunction, so to speak, affected your marriage, or has it?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, coming from my end, I don't think Jamar has brought that dysfunction or baggage into our marriage. Like, it's not like I'm waiting for like the next shoe to drop or something, something
Okay.
bad to happen. I don't ever feel that way from him, even though I know he hasn't maybe had like the healthiest background of marriage. I don't feel that he's brought that into our marriage.
That's awesome.
Unless you just hide it really well.
No, I mean, like, I think.
7-year itch, they say. No, I'm kidding.
What'd you say?
I said 7-year itch, they say.
7 year
I'm
itch.
kidding.
What is that?
You've never
like
heard of
around
the
year
7-year
7,
itch?
you
They
kinda
always
get,
say,
like-
yeah. They say people get, it's 7 years.
Oh,
Like, it's like every
For
7
something
years.
else, someone else.
It's
Yeah.
some fake.
I think that-
Don't even just
Don't
get it
look it
out.
up,
Get it
yeah.
out.
Essentially, it's like 7 years of baggage, 7 years of putting stuff under the rug, and then it seems that there's just this consistency in people's marriages
I
where
see.
the first, roadblock
Right.
or
Starts-
situation is going to be 7 years, and it must just be statistics
know.
of you can only put so much
really
under the rug
interesting, yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
You
much
kinda hide
baggage,
so much
and
and
then
it's
by
gonna
7 years I've
come
had
out.
enough.
It's had enough,
But if
yeah.
you have a healthy marriage, then it's not going to have a 7
Yeah,
year.
exactly.
So again, it goes back down to this example.
Yeah.
If I
That's amazing.
If I don't think I was there during the time frame that I was in there, I think it would have been a different story. Again, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I am not saying that we don't have things that we're working on and we're growing in.
Right.
But like, yeah, I feel the great thing about like being honest and open and transparent is you don't have to hide anything.
Right?
Right.
And
Right.
and when you don't lie, you don't have to remember to lie. So you can just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because when you start lying, you start
Oh.
have to well, what did I do? What did I not do? And now you have to keep up with all this stuff.
Right. You forget the
You
lies.
forget the
or
thing
you
that you're
believe
supposed
them.
to do. And then all of a sudden that's how and so it's just kind of like I think I've just been around again, like just my time in LA has been really helpful in
Right.
seeing healthy marriages and how people navigate things. It really has helped me and prepared me, I think, to be with a relationship with Kenzie. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect.
Right, right.
I'm not saying that I don't have my stuff, but it's like
Yeah, you did so
those
much
are the
good
things
healing.
that you just work on, and that is just as a marriage, but it's not to the point of like
It's not like your past is interfering
exactly
Right.
with our marriage.
Exactly.
Gosh, that's such a blessing, right?
Oh, yeah. Huge. I'm learning a lot right now.
He's thinking right now, Jen, why couldn't you have had pre-healing like
I
Jamar?
will say, Jamar got married in his 30s.
Yes.
And I think that could maybe be part of it too. Like he was a little bit, I
Yeah.
got married at
Right.
And we're 10-year age
Right,
gap. So
right.
he was a little bit older.
Right.
Not older, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
21-year-old guy getting married.
Right,
That could have
that's
been a
true.
different story.
That is
That's
true.
true.
That is
So I
true.
feel like his age as an elder, no, I'm kidding, had something to do with it.
Elder.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
So, what are a couple of reoccurring challenges in your relationship, and how do you handle them?
Reoccurring challenges.
I know, it's a thinker. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be a little
I'd
thing.
say the
can
one
be-
thing we probably like bump heads against is just the way we deal with wonder
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, that's what I say. That's
We
Parenting.
have different,
Parenting.
Styles.
not like totally different views as in what we want for her, just styles of parenting.
Uh-huh. That's a big
And
one.
so it's, I think my way's
Right.
better and he thinks his way's
So, let me ask you this: based on that, so you have the guy-girl difference, because
Yeah.
guys and
And I
girls
think
are,
a lot of
are
it is
totally going to do
the
different
totally
there.
nurturing
However, there's
aspect of
also
Than how
just
you were.
there's also just the baggage or the way we were raised,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Totally plays a part of it. So you have two things going against you.
Yep.
You're a guy, you were raised a certain way. You're a girl, you're raised a certain way. And so now you are thinking, okay, I'm not passing this on, or I don't want this. And you see it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So that is definitely something that comes up that you have to talk through and discuss and so forth, so on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I think it's all right.
that's a thing that just keeps on coming up. And
Yeah.
it's like Kenzie's very nurturing. I'm very get her ready for the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and so I think also growing up in just different environments
Oh, sure.
and homes, like
Military, too. I mean,
my mom's-
military is
yeah.
very...
my mom's military.
Yeah, yeah.
She's very
Structured.
structured, she is just, and so I think whenever it comes to wonder, it's always trying to balance what were the good things that I learned from that, and how do I not pass on the negative things.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's always
So do you ever seek guidance in raising wonder from, let's say, your parents, from your mom? Do you ever get into the same room and say, what would you guys do here? We're having a disagreement here. Do you go to scripture and say, okay, you think this way, I think this way, let's see what scripture has to say? How do you deal with it? What do you do?
yeah.
Wrestle it out?
What do you do?
What do you do, Ken?
I think we're also in an interesting situation because we live with my parents.
Okay.
Like we all live together.
Yep.
So I feel like they probably feel the I don't want to overstep
Sure.
type thing because they see everything pretty much with her. But I feel like with us, we're pretty good at, voicing our opinions to each other.
Coming to a
Coming to
medium.
and I don't think we have to do it the same way. I don't think we have to parent her the exact same way. I think it's just finding like, hey, I'm going to do it this. We have the same goal for her. We want her
Well, of
to,
course, yeah.
not do these things or behave a certain way. I just
Who's
You're a little
respond in a
softer.
different way. I think I'm a little more
you the softy?
gentler. Yes. I'm like,
Softy.
let's talk about your emotions. Let's talk about your feelings. Let's do some deep breaths. Come sit on my lap for a minute. And Jamar's like, this
It's
is
not
not getting
working.
her ready for the
Like,
world.
no.
Like she, and I do,
That's
I
so
see
funny.
both sides because I think now we can take it to the extreme of like, just too gentle to every feeling.
Sure,
Right.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But I'm also like, she's 3, so how much?
Yeah, and there's-
it's
and there's-
that balance of she literally
context
just
of the
turned
age,
3.
right?
So
Right.
yeah,
There's moments when I'm definitely kind of like, there's moments when I do lean to that side of like, hey, I want you to have you have a lot of emotions right now. I'm 40 and I still have a lot of emotions and I'm learning how to control them. So it's like, hey, how can we create a space where you can have these feelings? Your behavior is not appropriate, but your feelings are
right. They're
okay.
valid,
It's
yeah.
just kind of like, how do we help you navigate that? And so there are moments where I'm like, wonder, like, let's talk about it. Let's try to get this going. And then there's times where I'm like, okay, you're being a brat. You need to stop.
Do you
You
guys
need
ever
to learn.
surprise each other and you're Mr.
Yeah, you
Softy
flip.
and you're like, no,
sometimes
no.
it has flipped
Yeah.
where like
That
you're
must
very
be-
soft
that
with
must
her
be
that
refreshing.
day.
It's so
Like,
refreshing.
yeah,
I'm
It's
just
so
like I'm
refreshing.
done. Like I'm
Right.
Oh, I love
When I
that.
hear Kinsey go in and she's being like firm, and
You're
I'm
like,
like,
go, girl. You go.
I'm like, Wonder, that's on you. You're getting the other side.
Because
I
they
love
are so
that.
smart, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
Way
So
They
smart,
know.
and they're just like sponges. And they're
She knows
smart.
how
They know
to-
how to pit That was always kind of our big thing. Because same thing,
know
we
how
were
to
raised
play,
totally
yeah.
different. I was raised, strict in the beginning, and then parents got divorced, and then it was free for all. Do
Yeah.
whatever you wanted, because my mom worked 3 jobs to
Yeah.
keep us afloat. And then you have the culture mixed in, so that was different too, right?
Yeah.
So, and he just, I don't know. We didn't
I was
even know
a
where.
free floater.
I still say, we're like, Joan, where were you?
I have 2 older sisters, so I'm 9 years younger and 6 years younger. And so this 6 years, and my sister would be 18 graduating, I'd be 12, and then just do the math before that. So I was just like this
He
only
was sort
child.
of like an
kinda.
only child. Yeah, you were raised
Just
that way.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So that has its challenges, and she's real close to her brothers in age, and so that had that deal.
Yeah.
My parents were together until I went to college, and her parents were divorced when she was 13, and you have those challenges.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of different stuff. But
Oh, but that was so my point. I always forget these things. Was like when we had kids, we knew we were coming from 2 different
Yeah.
things, and our biggest thing was always just we're going to be a team. We're not. They're smart, and we're not going to let. Nicholas was our first, so we weren't going to let him. And he would try. They both tried. Run to me, see what I'd say. Run to him, and we just were always like, "What does your dad have to say about it?"
Right.
We made it real clear. You're not gonna
you're not coming
get
in
something
between
from
us.
me.
She already
Right.
does
Not-
that, and she's
Yeah, they're smart.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
They're
come tell
super
me.
smart. They want what they want, and they're going to go to the weakness at the point. And that's where, even though we knew we disagreed with each
Yeah.
other, we'd say, no Nicholas, no Jade, or we need to talk about this.
Yeah, we'd go to a room
and then we'd hash
have
it out and
sometimes.
decide
Yeah.
what we were going to do.
Especially
but
as
they
they
would
got older.
never get the answer first
Yeah.
if we knew that we disagreed with something,
It's
because
so hard
then
'cause they're-
it's like they break you down, and
They
they're
break
little
you.
animals. I
Yes.
mean, they'll just tear you down, and
Yeah.
they're fast learners, right?
Gosh,
yeah.
It's
yes.
pretty funny.
That's
It
really great.
is.
But it's also refreshing to hear that, like, since you guys have older kids, like, it's refreshing to hear that sometimes, like, other people are going through the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or have gone through the same thing. And there's moments, I think, especially when you're younger and married, obviously you think that, like, no one's going through what you're going through. But it's just
Oh, yeah.
refreshing to hear, to go, okay, we're not alone. we're
Right.
not the only ones that are we doing this right? Or we're
Right.
not doing this right? And so when to
Yeah.
hear you guys go, we have different styles, we have to come together, it just makes me go, okay, cool then. Like, we're
Yeah.
And you know
It's
what's
gonna be
so
okay.
amazing, because we do travel a lot and friends around the world, is every culture, every single person on this planet thinks the same way.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
may be black, white, brown, yellow, different culture, but they're all wanting the same thing. They're still dealing with the same exact stuff
Yeah.
with their
So
kids. There
true.
might be some
Yeah.
cultural changes a little bit. It's still the same thing. There's still disagreements. We're all human beings.
Sure.
And it is just, and the kids are always want what they want. You're teaching them not to be selfish. You're teaching them all these things that you teach them. And it's just a continuation around the world.
Right,
It's just
right.
unbelievable. It really is. Tell us a story where expectations in your relationship caused a fight or a disagreement. So, as an example,
Oh yeah.
she had expectations out the
very
yin
high,
yang.
very high, unrealistically high. But I didn't think they were high at the time. I thought they were perfectly
perfect, yeah.
reasonable.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that,
he's my husband. Do everything to make me feel loved and special and blah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so what would be something expectations wise that, you got married and this was an expectation. I thought it would be this way, or, something in regards to that.
Even think.
I don't know if I have. I think. I don't. My mind's going. I can't remember any expectations I had from Kenzie. To be honest with you, even to the point of like, roles of like, okay, you're supposed to
husband
cook
and wife.
food or something
Right.
like that when I come home.
I don't cook, so
No expectation. You knew it in
I
advance.
just
You knew
was.
she doesn't cook.
I mean, I can.
No,
it's
she
just
can.
not often.
It's not. Yeah, it's not often. Hasn't been. Maybe has an
In the beginning
expectation
more,
coming
but-
back, but it was just like no. I don't think we had. I didn't have any expectations. I mean, even like from like food or sex or it wasn't very no. Right? Did you
No.
have anything that you were expecting?
I wouldn't say there was expectations that weren't met or something with you. Maybe with like the way we thought our life was going to be.
Yes. So
Yeah.
So there was
Like the next few years were going to be. I don't think
Yeah.
the expectations were as much in each other, but maybe like what was going to happen.
What you
Yes.
thought, yeah.
What it was going
which
to
is-
look like.
What
Yeah.
life was going to look like. Yeah. We had some expectations
Those
of
are
what
different than-
the years
yeah.
would look like, but they didn't. But it didn't cause any
Yeah, I was going to ask, did it
argument
cause
between
friction?
us.
You guys just
no friction.
worked out
It just
together.
kind of like,
This
Just
is what it
happened
is.
how it, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
We go,
that's
wow.
Differently than we were
Yeah.
planning.
So who's the most chill?
Kinsey is.
And so you'll get riled up, get kind of spun up quicker than her by far in regards to all things.
We're making you really self-reflect here.
Yeah.
Like,
Go
let's
ahead,
say, politics.
Okay.
Okay.
Who will get riled up quicker?
Probably
Me
you.
talking.
Yeah.
Me.
Okay.
If we were to talk about it,
If we're
me,
talking about politics, Jamar,
Yeah.
he's more knowledgeable than me, though.
yeah,
So that's maybe why he'd get more wound up.
yeah. I'm
Probably
definitely.
you would get more like,
I'm probably more wound up.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more vocal. I'm very much kind of like big picture kind of guy. So like those are the things that I'm like. I'm always thinking. I'm always processing. I'm always
Gotcha.
going through things. Kinsey's more chill, more relaxed, more like
Okay.
in the moment, kind of thing. So I try to
be in the moment.
be in the moment sometimes.
He's very futuristic. It's always like,
Yes.
what's next? Where are we going?
Ah,
Yeah.
little entrepreneurial there.
Very
Well, a
entrepreneur,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess a pastor kind of has to be, right?
Yeah,
In a sense.
some of them can be. I think some pastors are very pastoral. There's some people who are like, hey, I just love people.
Right.
And they're just like, that's what I am. I think for me and what I've grown up with in LA over like 16, 17 years, that kind of sparked the entrepreneurial side of me that I haven't seen in other places. And so
Okay.
like for me, I think that speaks more to
Like,
my
that's your
soul.
love,
Like
yeah.
that's my love. It's just risk, unknown.
That's probably where we can have big differences too, is risk.
Oh,
Which I've
yes.
gotten
Yeah.
riskier in life because of him, but I'm definitely more.
Women tend to like
Was more
safety.
safety, yeah.
We like.
That's
yeah.
a great. I'm
Yeah,
glad you brought that up.
especially with our
because
business.
Yeah,
men-
yeah.
At first, I was
Oh yeah.
very much.
Like how we're built,
ready.
we're just built to go out, hunt, be gone. There's dangers. There's this, that, and the other. It'll be okay. I'll be back. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really how God made women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In as the most part, right?
Yeah.
And that seems like that's always a reoccurring theme if we talk to people about who's the guy, who's the person that's more apt to
Yeah.
take
Women want
risk.
safety. You just want to know it's going to be okay.
How
for
much
your
money do we have in a
Yes.
checking account?
Yeah.
Nah, we're good. We're
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we need to have this much amount in there, and so forth,
Gosh.
so on. And it's like, nah,
We
we'll
had to learn-
survive. We're okay.
We had to learn a
See,
lot
I don't
through
even
that.
look. I just he'll just tell
Oh,
me.
that's funny.
Just do it.
Yeah, I'll do.
You do it. I won't look. That's probably not the best advice.
I do all the finance.
That's okay
finance.
though.
You know.
If you trust him, you know he's
Yeah.
not going to lead you down a path. You know he'll do whatever he has
Yeah.
to do.
If anything, it's me who needs to
Right.
halt.
I mean, I hear you.
know.
I hear you. Okay, so this next question is a little more interesting
Okay.
and can really help a lot of people, as you
Okay.
guys probably know. So, being in a mixed race relationship,
Yeah.
as well as raising a child that's mixed race,
Yeah.
what are some challenges, if any, that you have had, and what recommendations do you have for other couples that are in the same position or about ready to be?
Yeah.
I'll say with getting together, family wise, we never had any, like on either side. Not that I know of. Maybe there's some out there, but
Right.
we
They're
don't
not
talk,
saying
we don't
yeah.
talk to them anyways. That would, like, no one came against our
Right.
relationship coming together. And even like friend wise. So we never had that in our inner circle, which I think helps.
Yep.
I would say if it's ever been like comments or stuff, it's been from strangers, like internet people that
Oh.
are just hiding behind
Just
screens.
ignorance.
Yeah.
But I think that's definitely helped. Is that our inner circle of people are very support. It's never been an issue of our color or something like
Yeah.
that.
You're just two people.
Yes.
It's never been an issue.
like a
That's
topic.
so rare
Yeah.
too.
It's never been an issue. I mean, it's that's the the last thing. If
I
if
think
it's a
you
thing.
asked when we were dating, though, right? When we were dating. I think you did ask me
That
something.
probably is true. Yeah, I think I might have
I
asked.
think you
like,
asked
hey,
if my parents were.
Yes.
What do they think about it?
because I did date a girl when I was younger, and I was in high school, and we broke up because her parents found out that I was black,
Oh yeah, see.
and so I think I say it to be funny, then I also say it to be like, but
But it's
seriously,
serious.
though,
right,
Yeah, same
right.
does your parents know that I'm
Right.
black, and how do they feel
Right.
about that? Because they were in the South,
Yeah.
and I was in LA.
Yeah.
And so that was, but after that, I think that might have been the last time we had that conversation.
He met my parents when the first trip he came to Atlanta too.
Oh, okay.
So he met them right away.
Yeah.
And they're awesome.
Well, you'd already gotten some
Yeah.
likes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I was
right.
like, you
You were
might as well
saying-
meet him now. I don't know when he's gonna come back. See if it's
Yeah. So we've had no problems.
But we haven't had any.
No problems at all. The only thing is, Kinsey will do some things on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then you've got people who are just behind the screens, just being stupid.
Little
and
bullies.
But I'm
big
like that.
bullies.
Yeah, it hasn't bothered me. I don't know if it's bothered you because I'm like they don't know you. And they don't know what. It's just
Yeah.
so if your mind's thinking that way, you're just
It doesn't
something else
bother
is
me.
wrong. Yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but I will clap back.
Yeah, he definitely.
If they start saying stuff, then I come back and I'll go on
I
there.
could see it more though if someone says it about Wonder.
Sure.
That's where for
Yeah.
us and it doesn't bother me because
Right,
it's
but your
whatever.
child.
But with Wonder, I could see. That's where I could see us getting more
Heated.
Heated
Mama
about
bear.
it, yeah.
Sure.
But she's only 3, so it's
Right.
it hasn't really been a
You
thing. It
just
hasn't
think,
really been a
yeah.
thing yet.
Right. Right. Yeah.
She doesn't even
I mean,
recognize it. I don't think.
which is
for-
great.
For Jennifer and I,
Yeah, like his grandma. Oh, sorry. I totally interrupted. I'm working on that. Sorry. Go, babe.
well, I was going to bring up the story about being in Indiana.
Oh.
Yeah. So, for Jennifer and I, I could care less about that stuff. It's
I always
just
like dark people.
Yeah, I mean,
All your girlfriends.
we moved to Hawaii when I was 3, and I say my first girlfriend was this little Japanese girl. We played with each other in diapers, and then
Yeah.
we moved to Oregon and then Illinois, and I remember this little black girl. I was 5 years old, and I liked her, and we were on the school bus, and then I moved to a town which just had nothing but white people in it, and then I meet her, and it's just there's just an attraction
Yeah.
to color. But that being said, because I don't care, I don't think about it, I'm kind of oblivious in a bubble,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my
A
own
little bit.
bubble, of possibly what could be going on to her. So we moved to Indiana.
And obviously, I'm not black, but
Yeah.
I'm.
But
brown.
we're in this town in
Yeah.
Indiana that we found out later
Yeah.
was where the leader of the KKK had been, 100 years ago or whatever, right? But still,
There's
probably
some
remnants.
leftovers.
Well,
There's some
Yeah.
remnants.
So she comes home one day, and I'm 22,
We were young, yeah,
she's
newly
24
married.
or whatever, newly married. She says, these people are racist at the grocery
don't like
store.
me."
They don't like me. I'm like, no, come on. I'm just like, there's no way. Why? You're so outgoing and bubbly and whatever. Let's go to the grocery store. And I'll just stand 4 people back and just watch how
We
it
did
goes
it.
down.
Oh.
So we did, and sure
Wow.
enough, they were totally rude.
Yeah.
Not nice at all.
Won't even talk to me. Look at yeah.
And so I saw it, and of course it pisses me off, but it's just people are dumb, and so
Yeah.
I don't really care about dumb people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're just an idiot over a color,
Right.
like
Yes.
black car, white
Yeah.
car,
Yeah,
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I really feel sorry for you.
for sure.
And so it's almost, I wouldn't call it funny because she's the one that's getting it, feeling it,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to say they're just idiots, so whatever. You're going to run
Yeah.
into idiots.
Because I've even had it on the airplane.
Oh, she's
where I
had it
didn't
on-
want to be a passenger. I was on one side. This is up in first class, but I was helping her do, hand out maybe pre-departures or something, and I asked what they wanted to eat, and we're writing it down, and this gentleman actually said, "Are you going to be serving me?" And I said, "Oh, maybe it was on my side." And I said, "Yes, this is my side. She's helping me out." And he said, "Well, I prefer her." And this is
No.
10 years ago. This wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
And it always, I've had, I say, a handful
Yeah.
of times for me where someone was actually like, wow, you
But
really
still,
are racist. This
yeah.
is unbelievable. Because being raised in San Diego, because of military too, and my family's military, there's all colors. You
everybody.
just don't
Yeah,
even
that's a
talk
good
about
place to
it.
grow up
You
for-
didn't-
for- yeah.
my parents didn't raise us. Now, remember, you just live life. Whatever. It was just people were good people or bad people. It didn't matter what color you were, you know? And so there's just a couple of those things that had happened, and it fires me up, like, in the moment. Oh, it fires me up in the moment. But he has taught me that you're right. Some people just, they don't know, and you start to feel sorry for them because they were, again, raised by parents that probably
And
taught
that's
them
really
all
what it
I
is.
think there's a lot of it is
That's all
that
it is.
generational.
Totally.
And it's very, yeah.
Yes.
So that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. I would feel like with Wonder, hopefully she'll be fine. But
Yeah.
Well,
you
and
know.
I love when I see mixed race couples. Like, I
Yeah.
love it more than anything.
Yeah.
Because the more there are, the more it grows.
Yeah.
The less there is going
It
to
just
be of
shouldn't
that
even be
as
a
it
thing.
grows.
No.
It should
like
not
in
be
my
a thing
head,
at all.
I'm just like,
No.
why is this a thing?
And to me, when you do mix, that's when you get the best.
Oh yeah, the kid. I mean, look
do
at
think
Wonder.
they're pretty, yeah.
She's stunning. Everybody, she's stunning. Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to add to that? Just anything? No.
I mean, for those who are, you said something about like,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
someone that might be
someone
in that
getting into
situation
it.
right now,
I mean,
yeah.
just at that point, it's like just focus on your relationship. That's the main thing. As long as you are, and committed to each other, just ignore everybody else.
Right.
You know, 'cause
Ignore the stupidity, right?
Ignore the stupidity. Don't ever, because the moment that you start thinking about that, you're just lowering yourself to their level. And a lot of times, like you said before, I really do feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are probably lonely.
Yeah.
And they don't have anyone.
Right.
So they begin to project and they go, well, if I can't be happy, you can't be happy.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And so you just got to be like, hey, just focus on
Right.
you.
Sorry you feel that
Do
way.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
keep
love.
moving.
I'm literally going backwards for just a second because you said something. I love. We're going to use this, okay, in the future. I love earlier when you said there's balconies, and then
Yes.
there's basements.
That's
Yeah.
Right? Is that so good?
Yep.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, take it away.
So, because you touched on this a little bit about life going not exactly where you wanted it to, as far as not with each other, but profession. So, I know you're a pastor, but you've also opened up a studio. So they're entrepreneurs, opened up a studio, and tell us about that and how that did shift and how did you handle that and blah.
Yeah, so we moved out from Los Angeles to come to Atlanta. We really felt like God was calling us to create something here in Georgia, in Atlanta. And that story is, it went from me having no desire to move to Atlanta to after we got married, for some reason, I started falling in love with Atlanta. And then I remember praying and, okay, God, what's going on here? Why am I drawn to this? And then I just said, well, then have Kinsey bring it up. And then Kinsey, like a couple of days later, goes, hey, would you ever think about moving to Atlanta? And I was like,
Wow.
that's so weird. We started praying. Her cousin DM'd us. We started praying, and I was kind of like, let's just keep this to ourselves. Let's just pray and see what happens. Her cousin DMs Kinsey, goes, hey, I had a dream about you guys. Jamar was handing out flyers. I was trying to get his attention, but he wouldn't turn around. And then I heard a voice call my name. I turned around and I saw a billboard that said, Mosaic Atlanta coming soon. And that was the church that I was a part of in LA. And I said, Kinsey, why did you say something to her? Like, why would
Right,
you?
right.
Why would you? She said, I didn't say anything. I'm like,
Wow.
are you serious? Like, no, I didn't say anything. So then we just started praying about it more and more and more. And we were just kind of like, okay, cool. And so then we just started having people come to us randomly, just going like, hey, you guys should do something in Atlanta. You guys should do something in Atlanta. And so, we packed up our things, and then we were getting ready to go in the beginning of 2020. And then COVID hit. Everybody knows 2020. And so then we moved out here in March,
Yeah,
April.
we had planned the move a few months before, so
Yeah.
it was already
In the works.
in the works and all the church stuff. And then we moved probably 2 weeks into the shutdown.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then after that, it was just kind of boom. And then we just stopped. And then we started doing some things here in Atlanta. And then after that, that kind of died down. It was mostly because I got to a point where I was like, oh, I think, got to a point where I say that Jamar, I don't think was ready for that.
Oh, okay.
And this is even like a humbling part. This is even kind of like a pride part, because it's like, and I'll be honest, this is something that I'm definitely having conversations with God, because it's like, you know, I felt like, okay, God, we felt like this was this, and this is now something completely different. Even to the point now where I'm like, okay, God, like, what's up? Like, I have moments where I'm like, I'm not upset. I'm just kind of like, what's up? What's going on?
Right.
What's happening? So then after that, we, I kind of stopped for a little bit and got to a point where I was like, okay, cool. I think I need to slow this down, just because it felt like it was getting to a place where it was like forcing it. And I was like, I don't want to force it. So then after that, we, started looking to other things, and I became a real estate agent, and Kenzie had her business.
I had a little online clothing store at the time that I had started.
Yeah, it's called Navy Wilder.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put some clothes on there. So people can buy it.
Yeah.
And so then
Very
we
cute,
were
by the
looking at some we were looking at some studios and for her to shoot her stuff. And so then I was like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. And I was like, well, why don't we just try to find a studio for you?
There was like nothing near us,
Yeah.
like in this area.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that we ended up in this area, but just not directly in the city at the time.
Right.
And so then we were just kind of like, let's find something for you. And then that's where Kai's Studios came out.
It was honestly very kind of random.
So random.
So random, and like happened very fast
Really?
that we started this business. And looking back, I'm like, we had no plan. Like, we really didn't know what we were doing. We're not photographers.
No.
We've never opened any sort of like physical business.
mortar.
Brick and mortar.
Yeah, scary.
We knew nothing.
Wow.
It's really,
That's
and we
so
started
bold
in
and
like
cool.
a very,
Rough time.
rough
too,
time
right?
It was 2021.
economy-wise, and it's still rough. But, looking back, I'm like, I don't know. We also started in Woodstock. We'd never been to he had never been to Woodstock, Georgia. We don't live in Woodstock. So looking back, I'm like, none of it made sense.
Right.
It really was God, because there was
so funny.
zero plan.
That is so funny. That's awesome.
But now we're three. What are we, three?
We're 3 years. We're in our third year
Yeah.
of running Kai Studios. It's been great, and we're looking for a second location, which is
Wow.
fantastic.
That's great.
So yeah, we're doing. It's really fun. It's
Yeah.
really fun.
I mean,
So we
you
work
just
together
Don't know
every
what
day.
God's doing.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're really together like 24/7. I mean,
Pretty much.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
We work
24/7.
We run it together, but we're very opposite, so it kind of works.
okay.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she handles anything that has to do with visuals, design, when it comes to the space. I do more of the back end. So I basically built the website,
Right, everything else.
banking, taxes,
Gotcha.
all the unsexy stuff.
The business
The
manager.
He's
business
like,
side.
yes, the business
Yeah.
side. I'm more, let's make it look pretty and
Right.
talk to people. Yeah. That
That's
side.
so great.
That is very
That's
cool.
super
But it's
cool.
been very fun.
Now, we know from your past, so, right, are we
Yeah.
going on to this one? Mackenzie is a model. So here's a question. So back in the day, think back to when I looked in my 20s, I did, back in California,
Yeah.
lifestyle modeling, right? There's lifestyle modeling. Back in the day, I wasn't walking with the Lord, so a lot of like back then they did tool companies would hire models to do bikini shoots and posters and calendars, and so that's the stuff I did. Okay, then I meet him, we get married, come to Atlanta, and I find an agency here, and I'm like, it's such good money. Just you're there one day and they just pay you all this money. It's so easy. Let's make some extra money, because we were super bad with our finances. And so you'll get the lead up to this question. I started getting now offers to be more not really mom stuff, but like lingerie modeling.
Yeah.
Things like that for catalogs. And I remember, it was a good payday, and I'm like, it didn't even occur to me. And now I'm already walking with the Lord, but I was still...
You were a baby.
I was still kind of a baby, yeah. And all I saw was, I'm going to get a good payday. Here, honey, we need the money, right? We needed the money. And he was really adamant in the kindest way of just like, babe, we're Christians. This is what we stand for. This is our walk. What kind of example he felt like would it be? You know, he felt very convicted that I shouldn't do it. And I had to wrestle with that because I didn't think it was a problem. I'm just like, but it's like not like in, I won't even say Victoria's Secret. It wasn't like that, but it was like it's a Sears catalog or it's a Nordstrom, you know, something like that. Like, you know, but he still felt very convicted on that, and so me as a wife and now as a believer and as my husband's the leader, not like I can't have my own opinion. We've talked about this before, but I as the weeks went by, I didn't have a whole lot of time, actually a couple weeks to give him a decision. I basically was like, you know what? I don't know why. I don't fully agree with you on this, but you're my husband, and I feel I should kind of submit to you in this area, so I won't do it. Oh, it hurt. It was like a knife to my heart.
Well, because you were turning off what you had been doing in the past, so it was just like kind of a new believer or a new, I'm really going to walk the walk, not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And so when it got to that point, and that kind of brings up the point too in a woman realizing how visual men are, and for her to realize, okay, this is what guys are thinking when they see that stuff. And she's more like, it's just lingerie, it's just whatever, it's great money. It's like, no, let me just tell you what all the guys think when they see that.
Right.
To try to open up your mind a little bit to understand, like, this is causing somebody to stumble here. This is what the potential is.
Yeah.
Explaining it in that way.
And I told, of course, and then my fear was, if I say no to this, you know,
Then they won't
got
use me again.
calls on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it did. It slowed down a lot. I said no, and it did. It slowed down, you know, until basically we had kids, and we kind of started up with a little family stuff.
Yeah.
But so that little story, how does it? Because you can't tell because we're sitting down. I'm 5'2". She's like 6 foot tall. I mean, she's typical model, what you would call a model. So has that come into the marriage at all? Has that, how do you handle that as a believer in that world? Because you really did it a lot, I believe, right?
I did it a lot when I was younger. So I started, oh gosh, I don't even remember. I think I was around 10 when I got scouted. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
So I signed when I was either 10 or 12, somewhere in that range. But obviously then it was just like juniors and catalogs and all that fun stuff. And then as I got older, obviously it gets more into, and I did do some lingerie, like I did Target and those catalogs. I don't look back now and feel, it was very like, it felt very innocent, but then I could also see the other side. Like it was still juniors type
Right.
lingerie, not super sexy. Now I do model, but it's very random jobs like in Atlanta, and we haven't really had that. I haven't done any lingerie or anything like that. I don't know if I'd get hired for that anymore.
I think you could.
I think my time has come and gone. But,
No way.
but that hasn't been a thing so far in our relationship because I kind of stopped modeling before we met like full time.
Oh, okay.
So it was more just like random jobs in LA that I would get, or some in Atlanta.
Right.
But not, I wouldn't say it was like a career thing. I went into like try to do sports broadcasting for a little bit, and then I tried it, and I was like,
I
actually,
kind of forgot about that.
I actually don't love this either. So that's kind of what I was doing when we met, was more the sports broadcasting,
okay.
not as the modeling. So he kind of met me after
Okay.
Yeah.
the modeling. I don't know, what were your thoughts if Victoria's Secret calls me tomorrow?
Oh,
You
man,
know,
I know. It's right.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, what comes to mind when you were sharing that was like, what I love about that moment was you had a conviction and you're like, hey, this is something that doesn't resonate with me. And it was your job. But like you said yes to it. And I thought that's like really beautiful. I think it comes down to just the individual. It's like, I'm not saying that you should go out there and just start doing racy stuff, but like an example would be, you know, if you know that drinking alcohol, you're going to be making not the best decisions, then maybe you shouldn't be in a bar.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
If you have those you got to have those personal convictions.
Right.
Because there's some people who can go into a bar, have a drink, and be okay.
Yeah.
I can have one drink, I'm
Right.
okay.
Right.
There's some people who can go into a bar and cannot have one drink.
Right.
And so I think it comes down to like, you've got to be able to know yourself,
Yeah.
and you got to be able to go, how does this affect me?
Right.
And if it affects you, that's when you need to go down a certain path. And so I
Mm-hmm.
love how you were like, hey, this is my conviction. This is something that matters to me. And you're like, okay, I'm going to say
Right.
yes to
and
that.
he's not a jealous guy. Like,
Yeah,
No,
it
no,
wasn't
no.
coming from a
I
bad
know, like
place.
in general,
yeah.
he is I would get mad at him in the past because I'd be like, honey, did you see that guy? Like, he was kind of hitting on me. And he'd be like, what? And he just
So, yeah.
isn't. So I knew
Right.
when he
Yeah.
said it, I'm like, oh, this isn't a place of jealousy. He really
Right.
has this conviction, and I need to explore that. You know, it kind of brought me up a little bit in my walk, I think,
Well,
with
and
the
then
Lord and trusting
I think
you.
it's in Corinthians. I was just reading. I mean, basically, if you are a believer and you're causing somebody to stumble because of the freedom that you have, but it's causing them to stumble,
Oh, yeah.
then just out of the love for that person, don't do it. I mean, that bar example is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it really bothered her that I had a drink, I'm not going to drink around her. Just not going to do it. If that's her thing,
Right.
I'm showing her love by not doing it. There may be nothing wrong with it. I'm not talking about getting drunk. I'm just talking about a
Right.
drink. If that has her stumble, I'm going to not do it. So that's
Right.
kind of that same example that
Yeah.
fortunately
Yeah.
we did. All right. So we're towards the end. And of course, it's aviation thinking here. And so we
Sweet.
call this how not to skid off the runway.
Awesome.
We're going to talk 5 questions. We're going to give you 5 questions. You're going to get about a minute or
Okay.
so, a little flexibility if you need it
Okay.
to answer. All right, what about this subject? What about
Okay.
this one? What about this one? Either one of you can grab this.
Okay.
How not to skid off the runway, social media usage, a minute, advice, go.
Yeah.
Delete the app sometimes. That's
Delete
what we
the
do.
apps.
We delete our apps.
delete our apps. Every once in a while, we'll delete it. Or, there's an app that's called Opal that's really great. And you can actually set timers of, hey, I'm going to actually, it blocks the app from certain apps
Oh, wow.
during a certain time frame.
Oh, wow.
And so the only way that you can access the app is you can even go into the Opal app, but then it gives you like 30 seconds. You have to wait 30 seconds before you can even say unrelease these apps. Or you can get the paid version, and it's very much kind of like once you hit, I don't want this app for a certain period of time, you cannot
You're
lock it
done.
in. You
Wow.
cannot open
I
it.
haven't even heard of that. That's
I
cool.
And so it's called Opal. And so like every once in a while, I have this thing where I do a sabbatical Monday where I just go, cool, no social media. And it just locks the apps. And so I can't open it until Tuesday. Or if it's something that's just kind of like, hey, I need to delete the app. So like TikTok, I don't have TikTok right now. It's not on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We both deleted ours last year for I deleted mine for a year.
Yeah. See.
And then, yeah.
And was
Wow.
it kind of like, going into rehab? Was it? I haven't been
It
to
is weird
rehab.
because
but,
you
I mean,
go
for
on
a
your
minute-
phone and you go back to click it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're just
you're
on
just-
autopilot
right.
sometimes, and
Yep.
you don't
Isn't
even
that
realize
funny?
that you're doing it just in these random moments.
Thanks for bringing
That's
that
true.
aviation kind of thing into it. You're on autopilot.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Got
good.
that. That's good stuff. Okay, so we already asked about family issues, and I probably put this down because there's always seems to be family issues that we deal with. But as far as family issues, things that come up family-wise, what are the advice? Married couple, family issues come up, bam.
Family issues, as in like
Like her brother just got put into jail for the 6th
Okay.
time. And then how does that
Yesterday
affect our
found out,
relationship?
yeah.
Or whatever happens, family issues. A lot of times your relationship's solid until
Yeah.
these outside forces come in.
Yeah.
Bam. Politics,
yeah.
kids. Like you guys are good. It's when there's something else that comes in.
Yeah.
So what's your advice on dealing with family issues?
And of course,
it
I guess
whatever
it
they are.
depends on too what it is,
Yeah,
like-
but
Yeah.
how do you tackle that? Do you have a way that you tackle the family issues?
because this isn't part of the rapid fire, but Mackenzie mentioned that they do live with their parents, her parents, and there's dynamic. And if I'm correct, does your brother and his
Yeah.
wife and baby also live
Brother
in
and
the
sister,
same
yeah.
house? Yeah.
It's got to be
So it's a
something there.
huge.
We've been, you know what? I would say this.
It's a very unique situation, but somehow it works. I don't know how, to to be honest. Maybe you do.
It's so cool. Though.
As an
I love
outsider.
For some reason, it's
Very
like
cultural, actually. Filipino, yeah.
Well, we were just talking about
that
too.
last night on our
Yeah.
way home because I was saying Wonder loves, and I like this about her, she loves like the chaos of the house
Yeah.
because she's just known that from day one.
Right.
And we're going on vacation, and I told her it's just mommy, daddy, and you. And she was not happy.
Really?
She's like,
You're kidding.
I thought I was going to be like, oh, special time, mommy, daddy. She's not
That
happy
is
about it. She's like,
awesome.
Bebe's not coming? Like my mom or Pa? Hey, baby Haven? Like she's like, I want everybody to come on my trip. I want
that's
everybody.
so
Oh my
cute.
gosh.
So for her, and I'm like, oh, I love that though, that she loves like the chaos
Totally.
of it and she kind of thrives in it. But yeah, last night we were talking about how I feel like it's Americans who it's very
true.
uncommon if you tell people you live,
Oh, yeah.
but other countries.
Oh, yeah. Like when your
It's
mom said
not
they're
that
moving in
uncommon,
with
yeah.
you, I thought, if anything, I'm like, that's so cool because
Yeah.
that's how I was raised. My
Yeah.
grandma, my nana lived with us for a while. We've had cousins, That's just how it is. You don't
Yeah.
kick your person out when they're 18. That's just not what
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
So when it comes to just like differences in family stuff like that, our families, we do a really good job of having some type of boundaries and healthy
yeah.
boundaries. And so like, we're really good at it, believe it or not. Like wherever it comes to, I think so, to certain things.
Like all of us in the house.
All of us in the
Yes,
house.
Yeah,
like,
we are.
you know what I'm saying? Like that really, we have healthy boundaries for the most part. But there's some things that we do talk about that's just,
Yeah, we definitely get on each other's nerves and fight. It's not that, but
sure.
it's not like, oh my gosh,
Right.
I don't want to go home today because so and so's
Right.
there.
Yeah.
My
I forgot to
sister-in-law
ask your
or
mom, how
or
many like
whatever.
refrigerators and freezers do you guys have? I actually
We go through
forgot to
a
ask her
lot of
that.
food. I know.
Seriously,
well,
yeah.
we have
But-
we have one freezer and one refrigerator
We have
in
two
the garage.
refrigerators in the garage, yeah. And
That's
one
when
in
I
the
see your
house.
parents most,
It's-
actually, is
it's
at the grocery store.
Costco, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, hey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got
But-
off on the side thing. So, if you've seen our other podcast, as we said, her parents, Rhonda and Matt, were on there, and we touched on this, but now I want to touch on it on a sibling side, which is, that she lost a brother. And, it always makes me cry. And so, there's other, obviously, listeners out there that have had the unfortunate, instance of that as well, different ages. Tell us a little bit about that in your marriage, how you handle that, how you handle it even today, any advice you could give to a sibling that has had the tragedy of losing a sibling.
Yeah, I think in our marriage, he passed away. I don't even know what year. That sounds
I
bad.
know,
I think it's maybe 3 years before I met Jamar,
Okay.
something like that. So he obviously knew about it right away, but I felt like when we met, I had gone through most of that like heavy, deep grieving process of it. Not that you still don't go through it every day, but it was like one thing that I think like my mom and somebody said in the beginning was like, don't try to like cover up your feelings with like drinking or looking to something else. Like you're going to have to go through the grieving process now or later. So I think that's something that I leaned into more when it happened, was just like going through it at the time and feeling it and not trying to cover it up with doing these other things to make me feel better at the time.
Feeling what you had to
Yeah.
feel.
So I think that that's what I would say to somebody is like, you're going to have to grieve and you're going to have to go
Yeah.
through it. So just work through it now as opposed to in 5 years, pushing your feelings or whatever under the rug. So I feel like a lot of that beginning part was done before we met. And then obviously it's still a big part of our life, now, but it's kind of in a different way, probably with Caleb's Cup and all that stuff.
Right.
It's more of like the focus of it.
Wow. That's such good advice, though.
What was
Even
your
though it
age
sucks.
difference?
I think we're about 3.5, 4 years. So me and Micah, we're all about
You're
like
the oldest. Is it,
middle.
you are the middle.
He's almost, it was like
Caleb was
3.5
the
years older
oldest,
than me. And
that's
then Micah's
right.
4 years younger than me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm the middle child, yeah.
So was I. And the only girl.
But the only girl, yeah.
Didn't work for me. Did it work for you? Did it work for you? It didn't work for me. No.
So
Well, thank you for sharing. I know that it can't be easy, and It makes us think when we think of this, when your parents talked about it, of just Nicholas and Jade. Like, you know, we only had 2 kids, but if one of them, if God forbid something happened, it would be, our hearts break for the other as well, other than ourselves as the parents, you know.
Well, until you go through it, you don't know anything,
you don't know
right?
what you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, I haven't had to go through that, so I just don't even have a clue, just at all.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a daily thought? Like, is it a thought that will come daily? Maybe not necessarily a sad thing, but just a memory or a thought.
Maybe more
or
memories, not
just-
as much like sad things, which is probably, I think your brain pushes a lot of that out
Of
after
that
a while. You know what I mean?
protection.
Cry.
But probably more
always cry
memories
Yeah.
than sadness. But I think us all like living together has probably been like
Oh,
a good thing for now.
seriously,
Yeah.
that's been
We didn't plan to live
really
there
cool.
for 4 years. It has been 4 years, yeah. But it's also been like a really good thing for
Probably
family,
super
and
healing.
also like we wouldn't have been able to start our business and get it to the point where we
Right.
can start as another location. You know what I mean? If we
Yeah.
didn't have
Yes.
that space. So
Wow.
So here's a follow-up question that I
Yeah.
have, just because I'm thinking of it right now. But it's so funny because in some regards, you guys are probably, in one aspect, like, can't wait to move out, to live on our own. And then the other one, like, Wonder, poor Wonder,
Oh,
she's
no.
going to be a mess.
You better hurry up and have
Yes.
more kids.
Like, do you think about that? Like, where do we move?
That's the
do we
hard-
need just
yeah.
get our own house next door? But right? Because I mean, that's a huge deal.
She is very like that's her house. You know, she
Yeah.
doesn't know that it's different than anyone else.
Right.
She doesn't know that's a different situation. To
Right.
her, it's so normal. You know,
Which I love that.
which I love. But
It really
I do
is.
think I thought we talked about that the other day. I was like, I think it might be an adjustment. I think she'll be excited because it's something new,
Sure.
and we don't plan to move
Right.
far.
Right.
So it's
Right.
not like she's not going to see
Yeah.
her cousins and her grandma. So I think if we were moving back to California, it would be a different story.
Sure.
But because we're going to be in driving distance, I think
Yeah, it's
she'll be
like-
fine once. But I'm sure it'll
Yeah,
be
it
an
will
adjustment
be.
for her.
It's like bittersweet. There's this
Sure.
bittersweetness. It's like, it's awesome because she gets to be around family and have that kind of like family vibe, which I'd never had, you know? And so
Right.
like, that's really healthy for her. At the same time, it is a great opportunity for us to risk and try things and do things that we wouldn't normally have the opportunity to have.
Oh,
For sure.
Because of the responsibilities of having your own house or your own place. And so it's this very beautiful, just bittersweet thing. It's like, I would love to have our own space. Like, that's something that'd be great. We want that for us at the same time. There are some,
But
Beautiful things.
Yeah.
but there will be loss. I mean, there definitely
Yeah,
will be loss.
for sure.
Where there's gain, there's definitely going to be loss. That's crazy.
yeah.
So fun.
All right, we'll move back into
Oh,
the
yeah.
quick
Okay,
answers.
here's a
I'm
rapid
sorry.
fire. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
So money. Best advice when it comes to money that you can give the
Well, we
the
know
listeners out
Mackenzie
there.
doesn't.
Money. Yeah. Don't look at it.
Jamar might have. She just
Bury your
doesn't. She
head in the
just doesn't
sand.
look. She just doesn't
Doesn't
look.
look.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm aware. I
Right.
think it's just you do business and personal.
Sure.
He does our business
Yeah.
finances and our personal. So you tell me you know.
Yeah.
I don't look at the account every day like you do, type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, any advice I would say, I will do this. I won't say like, here's an advice. I would just say maybe more of a lifestyle, like live a life of generosity. I think that'd be helpful. So give more than you take. So give 51, take 49. And I think if you do that,
Love that.
you will always leave the room giving more than what you take. And so that can apply to everything. Like always save more, like give more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be mindful of other people. And I do believe that when you start moving in that kind of lifestyle, like God does see that and God knows that, hey, you're someone that I can trust.
Yeah.
And I can give more. Now, obviously, don't be going out and just spending money on spending money.
Right.
But, you know, just be a person that wants to be a generous
Generous
person.
giver. Yeah, I love that.
Best advice when it comes to stress.
Yes. Deep breath.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe out. Man, have something to do.
Yeah. I was gonna say talk about it. Like if I'm feeling stressed or like anxious about something, like I feel so much better when I tell him. You know what I mean? As opposed to
let
hold
out.
it into myself.
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. talk about it, because
communicate.
normally he can like
Diffuse.
talk me off.
The cliff.
Yes, yeah.
So
He
for
can
you,
talk
it's
me off the
talking.
ledge.
For me, it's like doing something,
Like physical. Like
Like-
working out. Or,
working out or work or something. Like I think for me, if I don't do anything, I keep it bottled up.
Bottled
Yeah.
up.
So I got to do something.
Interesting.
So that's
All
good
right.
to know, though.
There, see?
Love it. All right. Best advice when it comes to your faith.
This quote just came crashing by St. Francis: preach the gospel at all times, when necessary, use words.
Oh.
That's it. I don't know why that came. That's the only
So
thing.
that's part
Yeah.
of the actions that we talked about in our last episode a little bit.
Nice.
Right?
Love it.
Yeah, that's so good.
What is the greatest lesson? Final question. What is the greatest lesson God has taught you guys so far as a couple?
Probably trusting him.
That's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
because our just everything we had planned
Right.
Didn't go.
didn't go to plan, but what's happened has also been really good too. You know what I mean?
That's
Right.
awesome.
So
Yeah, and we're like in the middle of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're, you actually
not.
are.
It's not like a we've been here, done it.
The story's
Yeah.
And
still.
now here we
We
go.
still don't
And
know.
here's
Yeah.
the final product.
Right,
And God
right.
did this.
Still
and God
unraveling.
came in. Like we're still in the middle of like
The trust.
the trust, whether it's personal, whether it's business, whether it's relational, whether it's just
Yeah.
like we're in the middle of it.
That's awesome.
So trust. It's good.